Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And today is a sad day. You know that box of 8 knives that I had a buddy sent to me, a friend of the channel? Yeah, it's time to say goodbye to everything, unfortunately. I'm finally done with working on whatever he had asked me to do. A lot of the stuff that I did, um, uh, things like sharpening. I did a handful of scale swaps for him. I fully customized one knife. Um, I think like put skiffs in some of them, and yeah, just scale swaps and just some builds and stuff like that. But we're gonna go through, and I'm just gonna show you the 8 that he did send to me. So starting it off, we'll do the 2 Spydercos. This first one right here is the PM2. This is in the S90V. Yeah, CPM S90V. So essentially the factory edge is still very, very bitey, but I went ahead and put some scales on it. He also had a back spacer and a pocket clip. So this is kind of like a full kind of build thing. And it's, damn, it really makes me miss my, my PM2 for sure. I had one for a long time. If you guys have been long-time viewers of the channel, you know I had like a fully decked out one with just beautiful titanium scales. They were like semi-polished, but I miss the feel in hand. I do, but I do remember them being kind of a bitch to sharpen because of the fact that it's fully flat ground and there's no actual flat to pinch on. So anytime I put it into my sharpening system, I had to put like a little piece of sponge or like thick cloth to hold on to it back here to kind of help center it. But edges on Spydercos, I mean, they come out pretty awesome. So that's one guy. Let's just take a look at that. Beautiful carbon fiber scales right here. These are pretty well made for the most part. And I actually found the maker for them. I forget the name. I'm sorry, but I will link it down. He makes, or he, her, whoever runs the company, definitely makes a lot of different custom titanium scales for various models. I believe micarta stuff as well. Everything seems pretty affordable, which is not something that's heard of nowadays in this hobby. So next one is going to be the Para 3, this little guy right here. I did some testing on it. I kind of went back and forth between this and the benchmade Griptilian. These are both an S30V, and I sharpened them both twice. I use them both a lot, and they have fresh edges now. I'm not gonna send back a knife with like, you know, a heavily used up edge and all dirty and gunked up. So these are clean, freshly sharpened, beautiful, beautiful. I believe I went up to 800 grit on these. So there is a lot of bite, definitely a lot of bite to these. And I was just trying to test the S30V because it's not something, a blade material, I have a whole lot of experience with. I just kind of jumped over the whole S30V phase and just went to higher super steels. Did I rob myself of any experience? No, not really, honestly. I think S30V is fine for what it is, but I think it does shine a little bit better if you put a lot more effort into it, as in like a higher grit. I had first sharpened them to 400 to 600, and the edges didn't last for squat. Not super happy about it. But then I raised it up a little bit, put a finer edge, took my time with it a little bit more, and it was definitely a lot more impressive for sure. But still, a pretty sweet little knife right here. So here's a pocket clip. I believe this was from Lynch Northwest. Pretty sweet little pocket clip. And then all the polished, I guess, hardware pieces are from Flightanium. But yeah, this is a sweet little knife for sure. Well tuned, got minimal side to side, up and down, is rock solid for sure. And the DLC, I mean, you can't beat the DLC. It's pretty sweet stuff for sure. Never had one of these in the collection, like the full thickness one. I had lightweight variations before, and they were cool, but I'd rather just have the PM2 versus the Para 3, just because it's a little bit longer, and I don't feel like I'm like being like shoved back down this way with my thumb. So the larger version is definitely a little bit better for me. Now taking a look at this Griptilian, this is a model that I have absolutely looked over. If I were to get another Benchmade in the collection, and I'm really picky, there aren't many things from Benchmade that I would want, but this is probably something I would seek out if the price is right. Now, Benchmade is doing some wild stuff with their pricing. They're not listening to the community. They don't care. They're doing their own thing. They're getting their money, whatever. But I went ahead and put these aftermarket micarta, like, yeah, they're micarta scales. These things are thick, and they definitely transform the overall feel of this knife. I do definitely enjoy the overall shape of this for sure. Can definitely hold up to substantial harder tasks, definitely because there's a whole lot of extra durability out to the tip there. So it's a sweet freaking knife. I've never handled the mini. I would like to handle one on studs, seeing as this just has, you know, the Spidey hole, which kind of makes the action a little floppy. But I think I got it dialed in well enough for sure to still be fully functional, solid lockup, and still, you know, fun to fidget around with. I get it, knives aren't toys, but hey, I mean, you're gonna fidget with the knife, especially if you're getting stuff like this and upgrading and customizing. You're a fidgeter, you know, everybody's a fidgeter, why not? But this is something that I could say I would confidently want to buy if the price is right. And I see stuff like this all the time on Blade Binge. So if I see one and I just got some money burning a hole in the pocket, which is not happening anytime soon, but I would probably want to pick up one of these with the S30V. Maybe it's just that good of an overall shape and profile. I think I would be okay even with the S30V. I know they have some other steel variations, but again, if the price is right, I would get one. Next one is the Divo Knives Tall Boy. Now this is the first iteration of it. All that I did to this was do a sharpening, and I put skiffs in the pivot, and this thing is beautifully smooth. I enjoy this thing quite a bit. It's a pretty sweet knife. Divo knives, look at that backspacer, just beautiful. I love how they do that. They recently dropped their 1.5 tallboy variation, and by midday they were practically all sold out. Good for them. It's great for both, you know, Kevin and Colin. They're both pretty sweet guys. At least they've been really kind to me. And yeah, they're just putting out banger after banger and doing this CQI stuff. It's something I want to see more of, and it's something that I absolutely appreciate from Divo Knives, because they're a knife brand that actually give a shit about the end user. They are knife enthusiasts through and through, and having a wonderful designer like Colin, and then having the nitpickiness that Kevin offers, like 99.9% of the stuff that Kevin complains about, I could see where he's coming from, and where his standards are just a little bit more refined than some other people, and I appreciate that. I absolutely do, because it shows in their work, absolutely. So they take criticism pretty well, and you know, their work reflects it. So the Tall Boy, sweet freaking knife. Next one, this was the one that I fully customized. So this is a Alliance Designs Mini Slim Pickens. It came with tie scales that I also anodized if my buddy wants to swap them out. But I think the micarta looks pretty sweet. So torched the plunge lock. I acid washed the blade, put an edge on it, of course. I think this is Elmax blade material, I think. I refinished all the hardware, anodized the clip. Even the hardware pieces that you can't see, I color matched them and anodized them, refinished everything. So it's all TA construction. There are, I think, there are 2 T6s holding in the pocket clip, but it's beautifully designed because you can't see it. This is produced by Rhea, and it definitely shows when working with this thing, taking it apart, to putting it back together, and just the overall fit and finish. It's Rhea all the way, but this thing is pricey. It's like $360 or something like that, brand new. They don't make them anymore as far as I know, and I don't think they're planning to make any more of them, but This is a shorty knife. I mean, it's 2 inches and some change for available cutting edge. Probably not a lot of people's cup of tea for how small it is, but I could definitely get behind it. I don't mind it at all, honestly. It would be pretty sweet to see a large variation that was possibly more affordable. This is a $300 knife all day, all day. But I mean, everybody's got to make their money down the down the line, from designers, collaborators, and then people running the show behind the scenes, right? Let's do something big and beefy. Oh, this thing right here. I have zero use for something like this. Like, I could never honestly see myself carrying this, but I would sure want to own something like this. This is an 8010 Tanto, and this is the S35. Is it? Yes, this is the S35 variation. This is one of the newer runs. You can see the updated logo there. It still has this like giant freaking pocket clip. I think it's not the best looking, but it serves its job well. And what this thing is wearing is none other than some wave and polished original goat scales. These are aluminum, not titanium, but they definitely transform the overall feel. This really does feel like a large and in charge, beefy, premium knife. But the whole build overall is coming in at a pretty sweet freaking price. Do I know that price? No, I'm sorry, I don't. But I just know that this thing is definitely a sweet piece for sure. And I could say with confidence that this thing would stand up to some serious use and abuse. I mean, nothing's happening to this blade. The rest of the handle would essentially crumble and disintegrate before any kind of like substantial damage happens to this blade. And you have, this hollow grind right here. I mean, this is actually kind of practical, and it hurts to say that because like I typically speak against knives that are built in this sort of manner. Like, I don't really care for Tantos. This is essentially double the thickness of a knife that I like to use because I like the thin and slicey. But I just can't deny how, like, this thing just feels sick in the hand. Like, I feel like I've, like, unlocked new powers just holding this thing. And with the triad lock, it's fun and fidgety, a little sketchy. I did already nip myself with it, and I learned my lesson, absolutely. Or maybe not. But, yeah, I could see myself, if I had, money burning a hole in my pocket, having one of these just to have in the collection. But I would definitely opt for some titanium scales. Just go all in and just make a stupid build out of it. Put some wacky anno finish on it, maybe get some sort of different pocket clip or matching material backspacer, and this thing would be just an absolute king of the collection for sure as beefiness goes. And then the last two, are these the last two? Yes, I don't know how to count, but here are the last two. These are both beautiful, just gorgeous examples of the MSI. And I also have an MSI myself, but sadly I'm getting rid of it because I need to make up some funds. I got to pull money out of thin air, and the best way to do that is, well, to sell your knives, right? So here we have the acid finished blade. This did receive a sharpening, beautiful sharpening. The M390 MK, it's M390. It doesn't feel any different. If Microtech is saying that it's easier to become more consistent, sure, knock yourselves out. Whatever floats your boat, but it's still just subpar heat treated M390. I personally have never experienced like really good M390, but this is supposed to be a harder use knife, so I understand why this is tougher rather than higher edge retention. I get that's what this is for. This is essentially a hard use knife with a finger safe, reliable locking mechanism, a whole lot more reliable than anything with an Omega spring because it has a big fat coil spring. You can see it right there. Yeah, if I were to keep an MSI, in my collection, what I would do is I would send it to BGM, have him hollow grind it, put just a stupid thin grind on it, and I'd probably put washers in it. I think washers would be fun from skiffs, but here there are actually skiff staggered bearings in here, and man, these things just, these things are dangerous. These are dangerous freaking knives right here. But this is also wearing the same kind of original goat scales. These are aluminum, the wave pattern, and I mean, you really do pay for the attention to detail that original goat puts into their products, because these things are a breeze to install. Super easy installation. Wonderful pieces. And these scales right here, they belong to someone else. I don't remember who they were from specifically. I think it was an Etsy shop that my buddy got them on, but this is a two-toned finish, and I think this is pretty sweet. Did I put an edge on this? No, this is still a factory edge. It says never been used, essentially. I mean, these things come very impressive. I realistically can't do much better than what this thing is. All I would be doing is just thinning it out, but I think my buddy told me that this is going to be more of a collector's piece to him, and probably not something that he's going to use often. So he has, you know, an incredible user piece right here for sure, and especially with that acid wash on the blade. I mean, it's just meant to hold up to harder use. But this one's just beautiful. It's just such a good looking knife. The open silhouette of an MSI, it's beautiful. I know it's subjective, but I think it's a great looking knife. I would love to see this brought in a smaller size. Maybe if they did a collaboration with Reich, and I could see it being an absolute freaking hit. If they made it just 1.5 inches smaller, hollow ground, use the M390 MK bullshit, it's fine, whatever. But then just the same design overall, just brought in at a lower price point. Or you know what, just go all out with it. Microtech, do your thing, and just, you know, price gouge and just make it super expensive. They're gonna sell out anyway. Just do full like titanium, micro milled this, that, and the other. I mean, if anybody can do it, it's gonna be Reich. I mean, they did stuff with, I think they had an Annex, and they had a SOCOM Elite Bravo. They did the sheep's foot versions. I think they had Tontos and the regular drop point version. Those things, they sell like freaking hotcakes. So I hope to see more stuff from Microtech, especially like this. I have yet to hold a Stitch. I think the Stitch ram lock would be pretty sweet to check out as well. But these MSIs, man, I mean, these are truly wonderful, you know, USA production knives. Definitely, those are probably the cheapest knives that Microtech even offers, and they're manuals, which is awesome, and they execute them extremely well. Also, their attention to detail when it comes to you know, the little fine pieces here and there, like about the pivot or the design of the stop pin or the texturing of this or the size of this, that, and the other, and the pocket clip. And there are so many things that Microtech does that they don't really announce, that just make things better as they go. So if you find one of these on the aftermarket for, you know, like 160, 180 bucks or something like that, because their original price is basically 200 bucks. If you can find one of these just a hair under, that has a newer date, kind of like this one. Let me see if I could even, yeah, that date there. The newer ones, they're just built better, because they're getting better and better. Like, Microtech is a company that, just by experiencing, you know, their manual stuff and maybe one or two of their OTF things, I can definitely tell that they're a company that cares about being better. They just won't boast about it as much as some other companies. So I'm not throwing shade to anybody, but that's it. That was all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was all 8 knives in my original unboxing video of this fat package that was sent to me. I labeled it as 9 knives, but I clearly don't know how to count and probably should go back to school. But yeah, there was only 8 knives, and all of these are wonderful pieces, going back to what I'm sure is you know, a wonderful collection. I hope these, you know, please my buddy, and that you know, he finds enjoyment in what has been done to them. Whether he's planning to keep them, use them, sell them off, bury them in a freaking time capsule box, I don't freaking know. Gift them to, you know, his kids or something, like whatever he wants to do. I hope he enjoys these as they are, because these are sweet knives, and without him blessing me and the channel, I probably wouldn't have been able to check out this kind of stuff anytime soon. But that is it. If you enjoyed this video or found it enjoyable or entertaining by any means, go ahead and leave a like down below. If you are subscribed already, thank you so much. I appreciate all your support and your patience, of course. If you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing, because I put more videos and content coming you guys this way. With that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.